Leaving no one behind goes beyond words. It's about action. UNFPA is working to promote meaningful, transformative, sustainable inclusion of persons with disabilities across all our programs and operations around the world, guided by the United Nations Disability Inclusion Strategy. We are stepping up our efforts to keep persons with disabilities a top priority in everything we do. Through the global program, We Decide, we are building better data and stronger guidelines to make disability inclusion more systematic and human rights-based.
En cette journée internationale des personnes handicapées, je suis fier des progrès de l'Organisation des Nations Unies vers la réalisation de son engagement de ne laisser personne de côté dans le cadre de son agenda 2030. Dans les Grands Lacs, une région où l'insécurité et l'instabilité politique continuent d'entraver les efforts de développement, notre engagement à apporter la paix et la prospérité partagée à tous devra garantir que les droits des personnes vivant avec un handicap sont pleinement respectés et protégés.
Today, on the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, I pledge, on behalf of the Office for Disarmament Affairs, our full commitment to support all efforts aimed at removing the barriers that hinder the full inclusion of people with disabilities. We will place their rights at the heart of our work in disarmament, non-proliferation, and arms control. Armed violence and conflict disproportionately impact people with disabilities, especially women and girls. It is high time that we invest in the rights, perspectives, needs, and experiences of the most marginalized at the core of our disarmament efforts.
Exactly a year ago, we launched accessibility features on the UN Procurement External website, making important information on business opportunities accessible. We have also updated the procurement manual in June 2020, placing accessibility considerations at the forefront of requirements, ensuring that goods and services we buy do not create any new barriers. Most recently, the Secretariat has also worked with other UN organizations in the High-Level Committee on Management Procurement Network as part of a task force on the implementation of disability inclusion in procurement and has contributed to the publication of a guidance document that will help all UN organizations to effectively and coherently implement the Secretary General's disability inclusion strategy across all procurement functions in the UN system. OICT, the Office of Information and Communication Technology, recently engaged in diverse projects that level the playing field for persons with disabilities in several areas, including pursuing UN job opportunities, assessing public website content, collaborating digitally, and navigating through the Secretariat building.
ESCAP completed an accessibility assessment of its campus in 2018. The results provided us with a roadmap to make the campus more accessible for all, especially staff, our visitors, and our delegates. Since then, ESCAP has been making improvements based on 98 recommendations. Here are a few examples of the work we've been carrying out.
AI captioning has enabled ESCAP to put the UN Disability Inclusion Strategy into action and to make our meetings more accessible at an affordable hourly cost of $2 while achieving over 95% accuracy levels. Recently, the captioning service was expanded to support all UN official language and access enabled via internet to support the hybrid meeting format required by COVID protocols.
We continue our efforts in making the UN Conference Center Bangkok and its operation as accessible as possible. Meeting participants with special needs can utilize various assistive devices available at the Accessibility Center located within the UNCC.
Hello, my name is Al-Hassan Sidqi and I'm the Vice President of Al-Hassan Foundation for Differently Abled Inclusion. Our goal is to reach full inclusion in the society for people with different abilities. The first one is physical independence. We offer customized wheelchairs for our members and we help them make sure that all their environment around them is accessible. Our second vertical is financial independence. So offering tailor-made solutions to people with disabilities to make sure that they can generate a continuous source of income for their family or for themselves. This can be by helping them start their own business if they're not educated. And if they are educated, we help them find jobs that suit their needs and challenge the stigma that is around hiring someone with a disability.
Hi Leela, nice to see you. Hello, what a nice smile, yeah. Wow, look at you, beautiful. UNICEF has a specific agenda for children with disabilities. One, to make sure that all children with disabilities, where possible, are integrated and live with their families. And the right kind of care and support is provided to those families and to the children. So a strong connection with social services, with medical and health facilities, and opportunities for learning and education.
UNDP is committed to disability inclusion based on the principles of the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities.
Physical and mental well-being, which we consider as an entry point aimed at enhancing the autonomy of persons with disabilities through a variety of medical rehabilitation and psychosocial support services. Second, socio-economic integration, where we work to enhance the resilience of persons with disabilities and their households against the negative socio-economic impacts of the crisis through various types of livelihood support intervention. Third pillar, legislative framework and social norms, where we seek to create a more inclusive legal and social environment by working on enabling the legal context and raising social awareness to eliminate social and attitudinal barriers. And lastly, fourth, we work to improve the quality and sustainability of services through capacity development of service providers. Also, we have conducted an Arabic Sign Language course for staff. As a result, we now have the ability to provide sign language interpretation during meetings and webinars attended by persons with hearing impairment.
My idea is to launch an initiative through UN to include persons with disabilities at a United Nations peacekeeping mission, and we can start from the headquarters peacekeeping buildings in order to make that buildings accessible for persons with disabilities. And I can share my experience in this field if it's possible to MINURSO headquarters and give them my recommendations based on the international standards. And I think it's not so complicated to achieve that.
Mi nombre es Silpa Riola, especialista en discapacidad de la Oficina de la Alta Comisionada de las Naciones Unidas para los Derechos Humanos en Guatemala. Iniciamos este año bajo los cambios que se tuvieron que realizar en el marco de la COVID-19, haciendo un espacio netamente virtual pero sumamente inclusivo, en donde todas las personas con discapacidad sin distinción alguna pudieran tener acceso a la información.
Меня зовут Алламурат Егандурдиев. Я являюсь членом общественной организации Центр поддержки инвалидов Туркменистана. В 2016-2017 годах наша организация приняла участие в проекте ПРООН по повышению потенциала и знаний в области управления общественными организациями. Несколько раз мы приезжали на тренинг в здание ООН. Мне было очень приятно, что здесь создана доступная среда для маломобильных людей.
Hi, my name is Javis Manaika, and now working with UNDP as a disability right communication consultant. One of the activities in the project that I've been working on is the radio program, interviewing people from all walks of life, including persons with disability, on how COVID-19 affect them, and also the response from policymakers and decision makers on trying to make sure that we are all in one page, making sure that we are leaving no one behind.
Disability inclusion is essential to upholding human rights, sustainable development, peace and security. It realizes the promise for the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development to leave no one behind.
I would like to thank the UN for always considering my accessible needs through the Sustainable Development Goals and considering the needs of persons with disability. So happy International Disability Day from Namibia.